All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, just make a note that Councilman Kirby is absent tonight. Old business, approval of minutes. The regular meeting minutes of May 7th, 2026 were provided for review. I need a motion to approve the meeting minutes of May 7th, 2026 as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call a roll.
Ms. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kowaleski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungart?
Yes.
Motion passed. Audience participation. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the council on an item that is not on the agenda? Dan? Oh.
Dan Clemens, 124 Bittersweet Lane. As you know, I'm your representative to the Leavenworth County Port Authority, and we had our meeting this week. And the packets were distributed, I believe, yesterday. There were only two new projects. Neither one was for Lansing or the school district, but all the others are still ongoing. I did talk to Lisa Hack afterwards, and she says for next month we've got 3 or 4 that's going to be submitted in the Leavenworth area proposals. And I asked her, well, why are we seeing so much activity in Lansing? She says primarily because of the rezoning of those 2 areas into commercial industrial, and that's where a lot of the proposals are going. And the owners are favorable for the packets being submitted, and that's why you're seeing so many activities. But other than that, that's everything I've got for you, pending any of your questions.
Oh, appreciate that, Dan. Anybody got questions for Dan?
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Gina? Ginger.
My name is Ginger Riddle. The items that came from the Planning Commission, are they on the agenda or?
I think they're on the agenda the first meeting in June. So I
Oh.
think June 3rd or 4th.
Really?
I know they said last night. I don't know why anybody said it.
Last night they said it was tonight.
Oh, really?
The planning.
No, typically they
Okay.
skip a meeting so they can get it all written
Because
up.
we put out our agenda like the Friday or Monday before council
But it
meetings.
is open. You can bring
I mean,
it
you,
up.
yeah,
No,
if you have
not
some.
trying to shut you down. You can talk now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm here, I guess. I am the Woodland Hills HOA treasurer, and one of the items that will come to you next meeting, I guess, is a request for a short-term rental conditional use permit for 602 North DeSoto Road. And we sent a letter to the Planning Commission stating that the Declaration of Covenants, Conditions, and Restrictions document for the HOA states clearly that units can only be rented for an initial term of no less than a year, that they can't be sublet, they have to be rented in their entirety, and they cannot accommodate transient tenants. And we did make an exception to those restrictions for the FIFA tournament, but I think that'll be moved by the time you meet again, maybe. The homeowner in question, I guess I have some other concerns because I'll probably have to file a lien on the property to get our overdue homeowners fees this year, and it's not the first time they've been late. So I would hope that a short-term rental conditional use permit for that property would not be approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ginger.
Hello. My name's Melissa Pretch, and my husband and I, Mike, who's with me, we live next door to the property at 602 North DeSoto Road, and we were here last night and addressed the Planning Commission with our concerns, and I'd like to share those as well for your consideration. In the past 3 years, the property next door to us has been poorly maintained and has been vacant for most, if not all, of the past year. We only recently learned that the owner lives in Wichita and is nowhere in the area. We can't contact him. You know, we've even wanted to offer to mow the lawn, you know, if there was a problem, because it's frequently overgrown with weeds and it's just a real eyesore in our neighborhood. And we don't even know who to contact because there's nobody around. It's been a source of frustration and embarrassment whenever we have company or family, as the yard is rarely mowed. The overgrown weeds, as I said, are an eyesore, and they have a negative effect even in maintaining our own yard. Normally, as I said, we would be inclined to help if no one is available, but since we couldn't find anyone, we couldn't do that. We fear that allowing a short-term rental for an out-of-town owner who has already neglected maintenance on his property will not likely improve with this situation, and it may even compound our problems. It is apparent that he is not personally invested in being a good neighbor to those who lived in the neighborhood before he purchased the property, and is only looking to make a quick buck during the soccer tournament. Another equally significant concern for us and for the neighbors on the other side of this property, who is a single female, is that, you know, the safety in our neighborhood when we have a continuous stream or even an irregular stream of people who are strangers to us coming and going without any way of knowing who, if any of them, have a legitimate reason to be there. And as Ginger pointed out, when we purchased our home, we signed documents agreeing to the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, just as I assumed the owner of 602 did. And one of the reasons we bought here in Lansing and in a home association was because home associations generally have better maintained properties because they are able to hold the homeowners accountable. And it's kind of hard to hold anyone accountable when they're not around. So because there were rules prohibiting the property next door from becoming a short-term rental that could potentially decrease our property value, again, that's why we're there. And now it looks like that may be in danger. We had no idea when we first moved in that it was being rented for a year. So that was news to us as well. So we would just appreciate your consideration and supporting us and our home association in protecting our family-oriented neighborhood. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? Okay. So we'll go on to new business, approval of the audit ending 31 December 2025. The staff from firm Adams Brown LLC performed an audit of the financial statements of the City of Lansing for the year ending December 31st, 2025. Alex Crispian.
Alexis.
Oh, her too.
Alex. She goes by
Alexis Crispin. Sorry, Alexis.
I go by both.
A member of the firm will present a brief overview of the audit and answer any questions.
Can you all see me? Would it be helpful to share my screen?
We can see you.
We can see you.
Oh, we can see.
Okay. Okay. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. As stated, my name is Alexis Crispin. I am a manager with Adams Brown, and I've been working on your guys' audit for the past few years. So the first document that we're going to be looking at tonight is the audit report itself, and I will have you guys start on page 1, which I have pulled up on my screen, but if any of you are paging along beside me and need me to slow down at all, just give me a shout. So on this first page, this is our independent auditor's report, and you will see that we have an adverse and unmodified opinions. That first opinion, adverse opinion on U.S. generally accepted accounting principles. That is simply because you guys are not preparing your financial statements on GAAP basis. You approve the annual GAAP waiver, and instead you are performing your accounting records on the regulatory basis of accounting. So that's the Kansas budgetary KMAG is what we call it, but it follows the budgetary basis of accounting of Kansas. And for that, we have an unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion. It means that your financials are materially correct, and that's what you want to be seeing here. Moving on down a couple pages, we come to the summary statement of receipts, expenditures, and unencumbered cash. So as you can see from this first column, your beginning unencumbered cash balance was $10,986,964, and then your ending unencumbered cash balance was $10,549,048. So a decrease of about $437,916. There weren't any funds that had any huge decreases in balances here. So really just the main thing we like to point out from time to time is just keeping track as a council of what kind of projects you guys have coming up, if there's any equipment replacements that need to be made, just keeping track of our cash balances and making sure that they're going to be sufficient for your 5-year, 10-year, whatever big plans you have going on, and keeping an eye on that. On page 5, we start the notes, and this is just some supplementary information to go along with that schedule that I just showed you. Most of these do not change much from year to year, and we always joke that if you need some bedtime material, feel free to read these. They might put you to sleep. There are a couple that I'm going to draw your attention to. We get down to page 12. So this is the stewardship, compliance, and accountability footnote. And this is just noting that there was a statute violation for the audit this year. And it's just that anytime you guys are changing banks, you want to go ahead and make sure that you're getting that approved in the minutes. Ideally, I think they like to have you approve your public depositories once a year, but really anytime there's a new one, that's when we really want to make sure that it's getting approved. And then note 13, the following one, long-term debt, actually spills onto the next page. So you can see all of your outstanding debt for 2025 here. And your balance at the end of the year was $27,238,177. And the last of that will be paid off in 2043. Page 14. We have the summary of expenditures, actual, and budget. So this is where you can compare what you budgeted versus what was actually spent. And then this variance over under column, you'll note that there were no budget violations. Past page 14, we have each individual fund. I wasn't going to go into any of them in particular, but if any of you do have any questions about any of them, feel free to let me know or have Beth reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any of those questions. But at this point, if you don't have any for me, I'm going to flip over to the recommendation letter.
Anybody have any? Nope. You're good.
Sorry, was there?
No, no questions. You're good.
Okay. Perfect. So this is the loose leaf letter that comes alongside the audit report. On this first page, couple notes. 1, difficulties encountered in performing the audit. There were none. Corrected and uncorrected misstatements. There were just a couple of really trivial adjusting entries during audit procedures, and there were no passed or waived entries to note. On page 2, disagreements with management. Again, no issues there. We really appreciate how hard all of your staff works to complete the audit procedures. It is absolutely a team effort. They are working just as hard as we are, and we really appreciate all the effort that they put in and in making sure that we can get as much done before field work as possible, so that when we're there, we're just asking questions and trying to wrap up any loose ends and not just sitting in their hair for several days on end. So we really appreciate the relationship that we have with all of your staff. Further down, we do have a few audit recommendations this year. None of them are anything that's rising to the level of like a significant deficiency or material weakness. They're just things that we think could improve some of your internal controls. The first one is that we recommend that all bank accounts be included in the bank reconciliation process and that an individual other than the preparer review the reconciliation and sign off their approval. So with this, it's mainly talking about the CDs. The CDs had some interest that the bank posted on 12/31, and it didn't get added to the accounting records till 2026. So it's just a timing difference. It was just a couple $1,000s. But if we reconcile those, that'll get caught. And then also, they previously did have a process in place where one person reviews and then another signs off. But with the switch to Tyler Tech, a lot of that is electronically driven. We still do recommend that one person prepare it and another person review it. So just something to keep in mind there. On to the next page. This first one was something from last year, and I think it's a work in progress. We recommend that the city's policies be updated to more clearly reflect information required by federal statutes for procurements, grant management, and conflicts of interest. And again, I think that's still a work in progress. The next one, we recommend that a reconciliation of the accounts receivable accounts be performed periodically to ensure that all balances on the books are accurate and reflecting what your staff are showing as outstanding account balances for the customers. And then lastly, we recommend that an individual other than the preparer review all journal entries and that supporting documentation for the entry be attached to it within the accounting software. So that's a neat function that you guys have with your upgrade. You can attach all kinds of documentation to the different transactions, and that just makes the review process a lot easier. Other than that, we do have 2 items noted below: IT support and budget assistance. Obviously, as your auditors, there are limited services that we can provide while maintaining our independence, but we just like to point out to our clients that if you're ever in the market for, say, penetration testing, we can provide that. We also do budget assistance from time to time, but I'm sure your staff are pretty comfortable with what they're doing. So just if you are ever in the market, to keep us in mind. Any questions for me?
Any questions for Alexis? Nope. No.
Okay.
We thank you. Thank you for the
Perfect.
recap.
If Beth could get that management representation letter signed, I don't know if a council member usually signs it or if it's just management.
Yes.
But once we get that signed and sent back to us, we will get the audit submitted to the state and get everything cleaned up.
Okay.
Okay. We've got it on, the mayor will sign it tonight, so I'll get it out to you tonight.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you so
I have
much.
one question. I guess I have one
wait.
question. So you've enlightened our group to what they should do if we do change banks again?
Yeah, so
Yes, and actually we
Most
have
of
an
my-
agenda item for next meeting
Okay.
to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, perfect. Beth
Any
answered
other questions?
Beth answered the question.
if no other questions, thank you so much and have a good night.
All right. Thanks, Alexis.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, so I need a motion to approve the final audit.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call a roll.
Ms. Hatcher,
Yes.
Mr. Gardner,
Yes.
Mr. Kowaleski,
Yes.
Mr. Garvey,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Pierce,
Yes.
Mr. Brungart.
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance number 1148, approval of fee schedule. Ordinance number 1148 adopts the updated fee schedule for services charged and fees for various departments. To implement the changes, a new fee schedule must be approved by ordinance. One change and an increase in residential refuse collection, which is our trash. Services, Waste Management has increased their fees. Senior rates 65 and older to $21 a month, and regular rates to $23 a month, what they think is $1. Is that $1 increase on both of those?
Yep.
Yeah. Second set of changes is additional services being offered by the Parks and Recreation Department and the Lansing Aquatic Center, which I believe are swim lessons and
And renting it out.
parties
Yep.
that you could rent. All fees are listed in the attachment fee schedule, so I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 1148, approval of fee schedule.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? No? Call the roll.
Ms. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kowaleski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungart?
Yes.
Motion passed. Item number 4 is executive session for economic development. Executive session will be called for a period of 10 minutes to review economic development activities pursuant to the discussion of confidential data relating to financial affairs and trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships. Exception KSA 75-4319B4. So I need a motion to recess into executive session for review of economic development activities pursuant to the discussion of confidential data relating to financial affairs or trade secret corporations for a period of 10 minutes beginning at 7:21 and ending at 7:31.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Ms. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kowaleski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungart?
Yes.
Okay. Motion approved. So I need a motion to return to open session at 7:31.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Oh, hold on. Okay, Ms. Hatcher,
Yes.
Mr. Gardner,
Yes.
Mr. Kowaleski,
Yes.
Mr. Garvey,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mr. Pierce,
Yes.
Mr. Brungart.
Yes.
Motion passed, and as a note, there was no binding action taken during the executive session. We'll move on to department heads. Steve, whoa.
Steve.
We got a department head that wants to talk, all right.
Had to jump on that. Go. Just give a quick update on like our emergency management bit. When the government shut down, FEMA also shut down, so we're back on track now. They're back open where we can get our online classes. So all of our new officers and everything are getting their ICS classes done online, so that we can get that up. Officer or Lieutenant DiMatteo, he's been attending training classes down in Kansas City to bring him more up on speed with his ICS. And then I've also been in touch with Chuck McGaha. He's putting together, still waiting on the state to get a class together. I told him that we would host and be more than happy to host a class, and it's kind of going to be, it's an ICS class for elected officials, so there may become a time here in the very near future where we're putting out an invitation for you all to attend. It's
Okay.
For ICS, what you can't do and what they expect and everything. So so we're tracking on that. Right now the big thing is just the FIFA coming into town, so all departments are kind of locked onto that right now to see how that transpires in the next 8 weeks. So I think it'll go good. It'll be here, get done, and move on. So life is good.
Yeah.
So anybody have any questions?
No questions.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. Any other department heads? Beth, you want to say something about the audit, or you good? Okay. City attorney.
Nothing report, Mayor.
All right, Tim, city administrator.
We'd spoken about health insurance a few weeks ago, and there was back and forth, and our broker put out feelers and bids and things like that. So there were a couple of companies that wouldn't even give us bids for health insurance. United was able to modify the plan a little bit, so the increase, instead of being over 40%, is 30%. So that's still a big jump in the city's bottom line, and unfortunately it cuts into what our employees take home as well. But I think the fact that we had multiple companies not even give us a bid, I think that shows it was kind of a rough year for us from a health insurance standpoint. So hopefully next year is a little bit better. But the health insurance through United went up 30%. So just wanted to give you guys an update on that.
And why wouldn't some companies bid? Because of our size, or because of claims, or?
Because of our claims, we had we had some really big claims this year. And, they don't want to lose money by servicing the city. So they quoted us a number at which they can still turn a profit.
We still use Bucati, right?
Bucati is our broker, so they're the ones who negotiate with all of the carriers, and they can modify the plans a little bit. And they do help us out. If something kind of quirky comes up, they're able to talk to the insurance providers on our behalf. So, again, I think hopefully next year will be a little bit better. We'll still try to keep our options open, but it did go up 30%.
So, Tim, when you say modify plans, I don't know if I'm hearing right, but what enters into my mind is that then the coverage is not as good as it had been.
That's true. The deductibles went up.
Deductibles,
the out-of-pocket went up. Yeah, that's true. That and a 30% increase.
Yeah. So is that across the board, Tim? If I'm a single employee and I have the lowest insurance, it went up 30% for me too, or?
Yeah. So different plans went up differing amounts. So our base plan is the HSA, and I'm not sure if that went up as much, but it didn't. But so if you're on the single plan, it might only hit you $75 a month or something like that. But I mean, if you're on one of the buy-up plans and on the family plan, I mean, it's a couple $100 a month for some people.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it's
That's
noticeable.
huge.
So it'll be noticeable for our employees, but also, again, noticeable for us too. Well over $100,000. It's tough to say exact numbers at this point because plans change. You know what I mean? Like a person might buy up into a different plan, buy down into a different plan. They might go from a single plan to a employee spouse or employee spouse to single. So things change. So it's hard to give an exact number, but around $100,000, a little bit over $100,000 is what the city would be paying more in health insurance. And like I said, unfortunately, our employees are paying more too. So yeah, a little bit of bad news, but I wanted to brief you guys on that. So that's it.
And that was all you had, Tim?
That's all I've got. Yep.
Okay. Supposed to end on a good note.
Oh,
We'll
sorry.
go around the horn. Rebecca.
I hope everyone has a safe weekend. And fun, but safe.
Okay. Kevin.
I have a few things. First of all, thank Dan for coming in and keeping us updated on the LCPA. And Tim and Beth, once again, you did an outstanding job on the audit. Now we have a couple new council members. That's just two more people that know exactly how much and how long it takes to keep this city financially secure like you do every year. The issue brought up by the residents will be addressed at another time. What I'd like to address is Councilman Pierce and I were at the meeting last night. That issue was addressed at length from several different angles, and the residents, I'd like to commend their maintaining their composure. There was an opportunity for that to escalate or get out of control, and it did not. They waited for tonight. They waited for their opportunity to speak. And I'd just like to commend them for allowing the process and the procedures to proceed like they should. So, and Terry, the Friends of the Library, I'd like to acknowledge their book sale, their summer reading program, and the patio and everything they do for their library. And I also saw where the Kansas State Department of Education, you're partnering with them with a food service program. So you're not only nourishing our minds, but you're nourishing our bodies too. So thank you. And that's all I have.
All right. Thanks. Jake.
I don't have much other than the pool opens next week, so if you're brave enough to go out there and freeze,
Looks good now.
go get you some.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Jesse.
We've had a lot of rain this spring. I see a lot of grass growing and growing and growing, especially on Audit Street next to the veterinary clinic. I don't know if anybody's seen that or
Yeah.
not.
I mean, to the
That's by your house, isn't it?
to the
Mary?
east.
What's
right?
that?
To the east.
Yeah.
Or no, to the west of the vet clinic.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
got-
The old
I don't know
railroad
who
right
owns that.
away.
Who owns that?
It's 4 foot tall.
Yeah, Josh had briefed me on that, and I think they were going to send out a letter, so I'm not sure what day, but I mean, just as a reminder where those things get kind of tough, we will send out a letter, and then they have 10 days
Right.
from receipt of the letter. So, I mean, it
does look
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
the
crop
Dollar
out there.
General and the old Burger King were out of control for a little bit, but luckily they cut theirs. So
Yeah.
I don't know whether a letter was sent from theirs or
Yeah.
not, but yeah, I just worry about how bad it's going to get with all the rains we've had.
Yeah.
So I just hope we police our city and make sure people are taking care of their property.
Yeah.
So, and great that the pool's opening. That's a great thing. And happy Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right. Thanks, Jesse. Pete.
Yeah, I'd like to echo the Memorial Day greeting. Just a reminder, Memorial Day is the opportunity for us to thank the people that died serving their country. So I'd like to bring that up. Beth, great job on the financial audit. Really appreciate your hard work on that. I'd like to talk a little bit about what we started with today, the VRBO or the, what's the other one called?
Airbnb.
I've had a couple people call me about it today, and there are some concerns in the community. Some of the things that I've heard is about housing supply. When we offer that opportunity, it removes houses from long-term housing. They also talk about quality of life, noise complaints, unauthorized parties, trash accumulation, and parking shortages. Other things they talked about was the community character. They care about Lansing, and they enjoy the character it has now. And if we're a close-knit community and they feel that transient people are going to replace permanent families, and the social cohesion that brings. One of the concerns was, and this is something that I thought of, is uneven regulation in taxes. I know we'll try to do our best to make sure that the VRBO and Airbnbs are paying the same taxes that our local hotels are, but we know that the local hotels will be, there will be reduced, the use of them will be reduced, and it could cut into our taxes that we receive from them. There could be zoning violations. I know our people are all over it. We've got some of the best workers in the state of Kansas helping us make sure that those zoning violations don't occur, but it could. And then one of the people came up tonight and talked about the safety and the security of our community, and I think that's a valid concern. So we got our work cut out for us. We're going to have to really think about what's best for Lansing when that decision comes, but those are some of my thoughts after talking to some of the people in my ward. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Pete. Appreciate that. Chris?
Well, first off, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day, and great job on the audit. You know, the numbers, there are a lot of numbers in there, and for you guys to do what you do, it's just amazing. Thank you. Library, just keep chugging along. You guys are crushing it. Steve, training, no one likes training. I didn't, look, I was a training officer. I didn't even like training. You know, no one likes training, but it's a necessity. So I appreciate, you know, the hard work there. Melissa, everyone that spoke tonight, thank you for coming up. I know it takes a lot for people. Like, you could be doing so many other things right now, and that's one of the things I want to touch on. I was here Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Tuesday night, I saw a citizen going against, you know, something that I felt like it should have been a lot less than an hour and a half meeting, a lot less than an hour and a half. And I think we have to remember who we are here to serve. We're here to serve the people. And last night, a couple of comments that struck me was, you're not thinking big enough. Well, when the people come here and they speak, you're telling them, hey, you're little. We're thinking up here. I didn't like that at all. So I told you I failed you last night because I wanted to speak and I didn't speak. I'm speaking tonight, so bear with me. I was also told, well, you know, people don't show up. Well, people talk to me. People talk to Councilman Robinson. That's why we're here. They don't necessarily have to show up because they talk to us and we say, hey, this is what is being said. You might want to listen to the people because they're the people that voted us in here. I also bothered me that we couldn't get the person's real name that owned the property last night. You know, I'm not even going to mention the first name because it might send people into a frenzy, but you know, we had the person's first name, but we didn't have the last name. We didn't have an address. We only knew that it was an hour away from Wichita. I'd like to see the person come here and state the case. Why? You know, why would you like to see this turn into an Airbnb? And Ginger, I couldn't agree with you more. When, you know, people that have talked to me moved into that area because of the CCNRs. They said, hey, we know who our neighbors are going to be. You know, we know who's going to live next to us. I have a 16-year-old and I got a 12-year-old. I know who my neighbors are and I know who lives up the street from me, and it's very important. And that is one of the reasons we chose to pay the extra. We wanted to stay in a nicer neighborhood. You know, and I'm not saying that, you know, anyone that doesn't stay, I know a lot of people are like, I would never stay in a place with a HOA. That's your choice. But we chose. And people came and spoke on those choices that they made, and we need to listen to them. So, thank you for coming. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Chris. Kerry.
Thank you, folks, for coming to talk to us tonight. I greatly appreciate it. Beth, congratulations to you and your team. All right. And Terry, awesome job. I do want to stop by the library. I've heard it's awesome. And new and improved, I guess we'll say. Yeah. And with that, I would make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Call a roll.
Ms. Hatcher?
Yes.
Mr. Gardner?
Yes.
Mr. Kowaleski?
Yes.
Mr. Garvey?
Yes.
Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
Mr. Pierce?
Yes.
Mr. Brungart?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We are adjourned.